Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a hot minute. I literally say this all the time. I'm so sorry. Shit has been happening and I've just been going with the flow, and I haven't been in a state of mind where I could sit down and film for you guys because there's just honestly been a lot in my personal life going on right now, and I'm just making shit work. Today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Huda, well, not the new because it's been out for a hot minute, but the Huda Beauty Foundation along with the primer. The primer is the Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base. I am in the shade 310G Ready in the Huda Foundation. I honestly got this a couple months back, but I never got around to filming a YouTube video for whatever reason. This foundation has honestly been sold out for a long ass time, more than it has been out. I feel like every time it gets like, oh, it's back in stock, oh, it's out of stock, literally like an hour later. So I feel like getting your hands on this foundation is a little bit of a hassle. Luckily for me, the way I got it is I happened to be in Santa Monica one day with a friend, and this is the only shade they had, and it was my shade. So it was like a gift from God himself saying you need this foundation in your life. I really want to get in the routine of doing like Foundation Friday videos. So every Friday I tune into my channel. Make sure you turn on those notifications for my channel so that every Friday you can get that notification of a brand new foundation review. I know a lot of you guys watch my videos because I do foundation reviews and because I'm actually, you know, really good at it. Because I do speak about texture and all that stuff. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Really quickly, I just want to go over the details of the foundation. This foundation is marketed as full coverage. It's great for normal, dry combination, and oily skin. So literally everyone. It is a natural finish. What it is, a full coverage cream foundation that visibly conceals blemishes and imperfections for a filter-like finish. Already, they have me hooked. I already want it. It is packed with a high percentage of ultra-refined pigments. The faux filter foundation visibly smooths and even skin texture, diminishing the appearance of blemishes, scars, hyperpigmentation, redness to create a flawless, airbrushed finish, enriched with argan oil, Cantella asiatica, both known for their hydrating properties. This fade-proof formula blends seamlessly with skin, leaving it matte with a hint of sheen for a luminous appearance. Wear it alone for full coverage or blend it together with the Huda Makeup Base Primer for an even more natural finish. Okay, so like already I'm hooked. I want it already. So if you guys know, I've struggled with acne my entire life. I have a lot of texture on my skin. I'm on Accutane right now, so my skin is a lot smoother, but I still obviously have texture, and that's always going to be an insecurity of mine. So even though I've gotten to a point on Accutane where I can go about my life without foundation sometimes, I still feel like, you know, when I want to glam up, I want to hide that. And a lot of foundations will even out my skin tone, but they won't hide my texture. They won't even out the texture. So you can still see the bumps, and it's kind of a mess sometimes. With that being said, so the primer retails for $35. The foundation retails for $40, I believe. Yeah. So not too expensive. Like it's not like Dior $55, but it's also like right in that median foundation price point. So like $40, not too bad. It's kind of a splurge, but not too big of a splurge that you also like are gonna be eating Taco Bell for the rest of the week because you're broke. Let's see the full on review and demo. Just keep on watching. Hey guys, and welcome to the demo portion of this video. So first things first, I'm gonna go in with the Huda Foundation Primer. I have not used this before, so this should be interesting. I'm just gonna go ahead and take one pump of the product onto my finger and kind of just pat it in. I like to pat in my primers because I feel like that's the best way to apply a primer, especially one that's a little bit on the tackier side, which is this very much so on the tackier side. It does have like a rose-like fragrance, so that's kind of interesting. I've never used a primer that kind of smells like a perfume. Not sure how I feel about that. So from here, what I am going to do is I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Foundation. I am also using the Huda Foundation brush. This is just the Face Buff and Blend brush. Have not used this before, as you can see. And then on the other side, I'm going to use my damp beauty blender to apply it. I am in the shade 310G Ready, which is a little bit too tan for me, but I make it work. I'm just going to go ahead and take one pump of the foundation, which is a little bit on the... It's not runny at all. It's very much so like a cream. Now that that's settled, I'm just going to take my brush, go into the foundation, and start applying that. So with just one layer of the foundation, I achieved full coverage, guys. I can still see some of my texture peeking through. So overall, the foundation looks really well. It really covered up everything as far as one layer. The one thing that's still kind of showing through is my texture, but I mean, I can't really do anything about that. That's just part of the post-acne life. Obviously, this side without foundation, this side with foundation. On camera, it's coming off a little bit lighter than I am, but it could just be my lighting. I have noticed that when I go in with this foundation, like I go into natural sunlight and I look at myself, it is a little bit on the tanner side. It's not too bad as long as you bring it into your neck. This brush, I'm not sure so much how I feel about this brush. I feel like it's really pulling on my skin when I apply. It's definitely one of those brushes that I can't really buff the foundation into my face. I feel like with this one, it's more of a tapping motion to really getting it to blend, but I don't hate it. I don't love it. This one does retail for $25. It's a little on the pricier. It's not too pricey, but it's not cheap either. Probably still continue to use it because I do like it. So now we're gonna move on to the beauty blender side. My hair, I don't know what to do with my hair. I hate when I'm freshly bleached because I have some like foundation on my like hairline, whatever. So taking another pump of the foundation, this time I'm gonna go into the beauty blender and apply it on the opposite side. I feel like with the beauty blender side, the beauty blender really absorbed some of that product. It still gave me a good full coverage. I'm not gonna lie, guys, like it's still full coverage, but it doesn't look as nice as the brush side. Like this literally melted the foundation into my skin, which is great. But this side just looks so much smoother. I feel like because it's such a nice, creamy, thicker liquid foundation, the buffing brush definitely lets it almost like sit on top of the skin to where it almost like any texture that you have, it'll just like smooth that out. Whereas the beauty blender side, because it's melting it into the skin, you can really see a little bit more of the texture. It doesn't look bad. This side definitely has more of a glow, whereas this is a little bit flatter, I feel. So I'm gonna go in with the second layer of the foundation using the brush. I honestly don't think I need it, but I'm just gonna see if it kicks up on us. So the second layer literally gave us flawless canvas. Like, oh my god, guys, obsessed. Literally obsessed, like, and I didn't even use the full pump, guys. I still have like a quarter of it or half, maybe even left. So I'm gonna go with what's left over and use my beauty blender and kind of apply that to the other side of my face. I'm actually just gonna take another half of a pump and apply it to the side of the beauty blender side because I feel like the beauty blender is really soaking up the product. So out of both sides, guys, I can already tell you I love the brush side more than I like the beauty blender side. I feel like with the beauty blender, it's going to be one of those foundations, and it's happened to me before, where I have to go in with my fingers, tap it in, and then very last minute, go in with the beauty blender just to blend in the rough edges. But out of both sides, I definitely prefer the brush side. I feel like this is just OMG, like I need this in my life. This is just amazing. Whereas the beauty blender side, still flawless, still looks great. I just feel like it doesn't have a wow factor to it the way the brush side does. So if you buy this foundation, I definitely recommend using a brush. I'm just gonna bring that in down here. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take my phone and so looking at the picture, there's not much of flashback. The only areas that are looking a little iffy are around my eyebrows, but that's because I had done my eyebrows before my foundation there. But other than that, everything looks fine. There's not much of a flashback. Everything looks natural. It looks really good. It looks very smooth. You can't really see my texture in the photo. Yeah, I really have nothing to complain as far as that. It looks really good. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I finished applying the rest of my makeup and honestly guys, it looks amazing. The foundation looks really good. It looks very smooth, very even. As far as texture, there's nothing really going on. Everything looks really smooth. Obviously, I have a little bit of texture right here. The red hair, it's from old acne. I can't really do anything about that. That's something that would have to be taken care of with like a laser treatment of some. Other than that, it looks really good. I will say that my nose has been like having some sort of reaction right here. Not from the foundation, just like I guess like the weather. It still looks pretty good. I do have like a little flake right here. The foundation didn't necessarily do anything to make that even worse. It just already was. It looks pretty good. Overall, the skin looks really good. I'm gonna go about my day and I'll be back in a couple of hours to check back in with you guys. It is 7:06 in the afternoon, so it's already like nighttime. I will be back in a couple of hours to check back in with you guys, see how the foundation is wearing, see if it's breaking apart anywhere, whatever it may be. I will be back to check back in with you guys, but so far, amazing, and I'll be back. Hey guys, welcome back. So it is now 2:41 at night. It's been about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. It's been 7 hours since I initially put on the foundation. It's still holding up pretty well, if I do say so myself. Let me just take a look. You guys are seeing this live in camera. I haven't touched up throughout the day. I definitely got my brows waxed. Just kidding, that was totally before. I'm so kidding. I went to Amy's, which is a beauty store. From there, I browsed, bought groceries, cooked. I was under intense steam because we were making flautas. So the makeup, honestly, holding up pretty well. The only part that I would say is a little bit weird is right here on my nose on the side. It's looking a little oily. Same with on my like under nose. That's the part that I had said was a little crusty because of like the allergies and just my skin reacting. But it doesn't look too bad, but it's definitely starting to like move around. It's not separating though. It's just moving around. I feel like if I were to go in with a beauty blender and just, yeah, that definitely did the trick. It's back to normal. It wasn't separating, so like the coverage was still there, but it was starting to like move around because it was so like oily. But everywhere else, it literally looks flawless, guys. Like I can't complain. But overall, like looking at myself in the mirror, it looks really good. It still looks flawless. Like if someone were to invite me out right now at 3 a.m., I would be able to go because it looks really good. And this is like 7 hours of wear. It looks amazing. It's still full coverage. Going back to the pros and cons of this foundation, is it full coverage? Absolutely, without a doubt, it is totally full coverage. This is not one of those foundations that say full coverage but end up being medium. This is the full, complete coverage. It's going to cover everything up. When you think of this foundation, think Kat Von D, think those are honestly the only ones that come to mind right now, just completely full coverage. So when you're thinking of your shade, you definitely want to make sure you get the right one because it's so full coverage that it will show. For me, this is slightly a little bit too tan than like my neck. I can make it work by blending it into my neck. Is it for every type of skin type? I have to say I agree because where I'm oily, I feel like it was pretty oil controlling except for maybe my nose area, but like I said, it wasn't separating. It was just getting a little oily. Nothing a quick touch up wouldn't fix. For people with dry skin, like I said, my nose is a little dry at the bottom and it wasn't emphasizing it at all. I did have a little flake, but it wasn't because of the foundation. Do I like the primer? Yes, I think the primer is actually really nice. I will probably continue to use this primer. I feel like it really kept my foundation on. I feel like it really hydrated my skin without like making me oily. So the foundation claims to be like a faux filter foundation. I definitely have to agree that this made my skin look amazing on camera and in photos. I just look so airbrushed and I look airbrushed in person. If I look at myself in the mirror, I honestly look really flawless. I can't really think of any cons other than maybe the fragrance because I just feel like foundations with fragrance aren't for people with super sensitive skin. I feel like if you're sensitive to fragrance, this might be a little too much for you. I have friends who have tried this foundation and they say that the scent lingers. For me personally, does not linger on me. I can't smell it anymore, but for some people who are sensitive to scent, then this might not be something that you would want. Other than that, the foundation does retail for $40. I think it's great. The brush, I don't think it's necessary, but it is a nice brush at an affordable price point, $25. The primer, while I don't think it's anything extraordinary, I think it does go well with the foundation. I think that if you have any other primer, it'll work. I don't think they necessarily need to go together. I just personally needed a new primer, so I went ahead and bought it because it promises to be hydrating and also like mattifying, so love that. I definitely give this foundation a thumbs up. I will probably be using this a lot just because I feel like I really love this finish. It looks natural, but it also, like, you could go full on glam with it. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below what foundation you think I should review next. Let me know what you think of Foundation Fridays in general. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you turn on those notifications to keep up with all my new postings. Make sure you follow me on my other social media platforms like Instagram and Snapchat at DGAFPanda. And until next time, guys, DGAFPanda out.